Now tell us about rejection therapy.
So in order for you to be okay and learn to like be comfortable with being rejected, you know how like sometimes you have to do something big, like ask somebody out, or like ask a person, like pitch something, like an idea, or like business something, whatever it is, right? Or like sing in front of people, speak in front of people, and you're nervous. So you're nervous because of rejection, right? So
what is that going on right there? Like that car literally has a trash can hooked to the back of it.
Tell me you have ADHD without telling me you have ADHD.
Okay, if you are literally driving, you see a random trash can linked to the back of a car, you can't not say anything.
No, listen. And then you basically put yourself in situations where you know that you're probably going to be rejected, so that you become immune to it. So like Ella and I were doing that at a Super Bowl, and we were like, I'm like, Ella, go up to that guy and ask if you can borrow his pants someday, or like his outfit, or something like random. And then she did it, and then he was like, no. And then it was good, because then he rejected her, and then it's like good, it's like satisfaction, because then you're like, yes, yeah, I can do that. And then we just keep putting yourself in situations like that. Like she would ask me to do the most random stuff, and I would do it, and it was really funny, and it's awkward, but then you're like, you built like this confidence.
Immune to rejection.
Yeah, you built like a confidence.
So it's actually so good.
No, it's really cool.
You know what I mean? Because rejection is a trap.
Yeah.
It keeps us in our comfort zone, so we never reach our full potential.
Right? And it's like,
I've been thinking about that lately in my own life. Like, even in my relationship with God, I feel like there's a false sense of feeling like you're stepping out in faith while you're still in your comfort zone. And I've realized lately, like even with this year, I think a lot of times I stay in my comfort zone.
like, yeah.
And it's not that I don't step out in faith. I just take faith steps that like are 90%, I'm 90%
Safe.
sure are going to be safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, what if I took faith steps that were like 20% sure that I was going to be safe? You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. But it's kind of like, oh yeah, it can be easy when it's like something little sometimes, but then it's like, oh, when it's something that you actually have to put yourself out there, or like put effort into something, and you don't know if it's gonna go through, and you're like, you know.
But then really, what is fear of rejection? Is it pride? Because you don't want to look dumb?
It's pride.
I think a lot of things are like rooted in pride.
Oh no, Allie,
like everything.
I have come to this realization that so much stuff, so much stuff is rooted in pride.
And isn't there a verse that says pride is the beginning of like the fall?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the devil was prideful. That's why he was cast out of heaven.
And the thing about Jesus, was he prideful?
No, he was the servant. He was humble.
Even like being scared to do something that God told you to do, at the end of the day, you're like, oh no, I just don't know if I'm good enough. That's pride. Like, why is it about you? It's not about you. God's just trying to use it for somebody else. It's not about you. That's being prideful and like selfish to like hold back from like doing it because you're like, well, I'm not. It's really not about you. You're holding back something that could happen to somebody else, something that could be a blessing to somebody else, you know?
Same thing with like the giftings He's put inside of us. Like if we're not using them, that's selfish, and it's
that's
full
good.
of pride. Because our giftings were never placed in us for us. They were placed in us for others. It literally says that in scripture.
Wow, that's good.
It's selfish to hold them back and to not use them. And it doesn't matter if you're the best, because God uses people that aren't the best. Always.
And you know,
so what way do you need to apply that right now in your life?
Yeah, I think like something that like in the sense of like not talking, or like not talking, but like being very wise with my words, because I read some verses recently, I think it was in Proverbs, and it was just like, it was so straight up like, I was like, oh my gosh, about like just talking too much, and how it could be so bad for you. And we know that, but the verses were like, I can't quote them like right now, but they were like, oh my gosh, right? And it's so true. And a lot of the times we like talk too much because we want to fill in the space, and or we're afraid of things being awkward. And that's like the rejection therapy again. Like, you know what I mean? I think sometimes it's good for us to force ourselves to sit in silence. Or like if somebody is saying something that we don't want to talk about, or whatever, like, and we feel kind of pressured, we just, I don't want to talk about this right now, or whatever. Like, I don't know, like, you know,
like being okay saying no.
Yes, and being okay with the awkwardness.
Yeah, just still.
Because how many times, I don't know about you, but like I have like
That's so
talked
good.
about things
That's so
that I
good.
shouldn't, or like spoke too much because I was just like,
Or shared my own opinion because they wanted a response right away.
yes.
Instead of actually just sitting and thinking about what I
yes.
need to say and what God's showing me.
Yes. Yes.
Which is wisdom.
Exactly. So.
Which, at the end of the day, benefits the person listening to way more than just your immediate response right away. I literally just wrote a post for Chosen and Free about this. I said, like, remember that it's okay to not have all the answers. And to tell somebody, I don't know, but let me take a second and really research this for you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Instead of like, yeah.
Just giving a response right away. Why? Because you don't want to look stupid if you don't know the answer.
You don't want to be embarrassed or like.
Pride, bro. It's everything.
Pride. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Right?
Or like if somebody's talking about something and you don't agree with it and you don't think it's right to talk about it or their opinion or whatever, and you're just and like a stranger or something and it's not that deep and you're just like kind of like just let it go or whatever, you know what I mean? You're kind of like yeah, instead of like saying something like actually, you know, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like if they're gossiping and you're like don't want to embarrass them and feel them and make them feel embarrassed.
Like having the confidence to be the person that you are, even if everybody else is different. Like if somebody is saying something that you don't agree with,
right,
being comfortable with saying like, hey, I respect your opinion, but I actually don't agree with this.
Yes. Because a lot of times, so we just want to agree with them. Just be like, no, I get it. I understand what you mean. I can feel like that to kind of like to be relatable and like make them feel understood, so you don't embarrass them or you're not that person that's like, no, actually, I don't relate to that at all. Like you know. But it's like, are you disagreeing with something that we shouldn't even be agreeing with in the first place? You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, I saw this quote that said, no response is a response. And it's so true. Like so many times when things are brought up, we don't want to like say what we're really feeling because we don't want to start a fight, but being passive about it and not actually saying the truth if you see a lie or deception in something is a response, because it's just letting the enemy win or letting lies go forth.
Dang.
So I've been thinking about that so much too, right? Even in my relationships, I started to realize like I hold back a lot because I don't want to ruin a relationship. When in reality, if you can't openly share the way that you're feeling in love and like try to understand what they're saying too, you know what I mean? There's no relationship at all. If you can't be honest with the people in your life, and feel like it's a safe place to bring up opposing views, to actually sharpen one another, because it's uncomfortability that sharpens each other. There's no relationship there, none.
Right, because you start building walls.
Yeah, and just it's like if you can't be real, there's no. You're just like filling each other's.
There's no like foundation.
There's no foundation.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
There's no growth.
Preach that.
You're the person that me and Austin got that from. Oh my gosh.
Preach that?
No.
What?
We were trying to figure it out all morning, Carol.
What, sister?
We both started saying, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And everything.
Oh, I say that.
And in the car today, we're like, who started this? Was it me? Was it you? And it was you.
Wow.
You did this to us.
No?
No, but you say it like after everything you say, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Oh, I say that a lot.
We totally got that from you.
That's so funny.
That's so funny. I've been trying to figure it out all day because I was like, where did that come from?
No, it's definitely me. I say that all
Oh my gosh, it's so
everything.
funny. That's so funny.
No, but you know what? One time I told my professor, I was talking to him, and then I was trying to explain something, and I didn't know if I was articulating myself properly. Like, I didn't know if I was explaining it right. So I said to him, I said, does that make sense to you? Right? And when I said that, he got so offended because he had some like disabilities. I don't know exactly what it was, but he could talk perfectly. You know what I mean? Like he was really smart. But I don't remember what it was. I think it was a speech impediment. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. So he thought that I meant like, does that make sense to you? Like I thought he was stupid to understand, but I definitely didn't mean that. Like he was so smart.
Well, if you don't, do you know what I mean? Sounds a lot nicer.
So that's why.
The Did they just honk at us?
I don't know. People are wild.
The light just turned. Like, what the heck?
No, it makes me laugh. Like, what? And then I said...
That's so funny.
I said, and I was like, no, I didn't mean it like that. And I felt so bad. So then I started saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, or sometimes I say, am I making sense? Like, kind of putting the blame on me.
Does that make sense to you?
It came across so rude to him, and he was like,
Oh, that's really good.
oh, it was so bad. I felt so embarrassed. He was like, do you think I can't understand what you're saying? Because I was like, whoa, no. I never forgot that.